Hi, I'm Mary Himes, and together with Helen Klisser-During, I co-founded the Unload Foundation and our Unload Initiative. Our goal is to use the arts to engage and educate a broader coalition of people around the loaded issues of gun violence, gun rights, and gun use, so that we can once again come together and find consensus and save lives. In this country, too many men, women, and children are killed or grievously wounded by firearms. Mass shootings occur with frightening regularity. Suicides are on the rise. Children with access to unsecured weapons accidentally shoot themselves or family members. A nation divided, we mistrust one another. The standard means for creating change have failed, so we decided to take a new approach. We use the arts instead of politics to create the foundation for change. That's why we brought an exhibit, Guns in the Hands of Artists, to Fairfield University to initiate a community conversation about the ways guns are affecting all our lives. That's why we funded a buyback program in Connecticut and gave the decommissioned guns to artists to make new art. And that's why we offer a summer workshop for teens so they can find their voice, learn how to communicate effectively, and process critical, challenging issues like gun violence. We'll continue to encourage young people to speak up and help to create a better, safer future.
Hi, I'm Allison Fallon, a middle school teacher at Central Middle School in Greenwich, Connecticut, and teacher leader of CWP Fairfield. In 2018, my students and I attended the art exhibit and began to realize the importance of not only reading about violence in the United States, but also writing about our greatest passions. My students were aghast at the school violence and cultural violence that has plagued our nation and felt that their voices were simply not being heard or valued. I already had an empathy unit with my students, but participation with CWP and the art exhibit at Fairfield University extended the vision and opened up another world for my classroom, one where students were partaking in their community in a meaningful and impactful way. From this experience, my students created writing projects ranging from poetry to short story to essay to art in an effort to speak out against violence. These pieces were not the end, but rather the beginning, as since the exhibit, the empathy unit has grown to include selections by students, original pieces, and more opportunity for practicing citizenship. It is now a joint effort where each year the students add to the unit for future classes. It is a way of paying it forward, but also reflecting back on their experience in middle school as one of fostering activism and change. All in all, the partnership we have made with Fairfield University and CWP has enlightened students to think beyond the scope of the middle school classroom and to their community. They have seen their voices be heard and valued, and that validation and respect has empowered students. Many from the 2018 class have gone on to promote change at the local level, creating a diversity club at the high school, partnering with the local neighbor to neighbor, using art as a means of expression and community. These students are the future leaders our world needs. Thank you, and continue to dare students to think differently.
My name is Abu Bility, and I'm from Liberia. My family and I moved here in 2005 due to the civil war in Liberia. War was very rampant and we had to move as quick as we could. I graduated from Nottingham High School in 2011 and I got accepted into Brockport College and I graduated from there in 2016. I am currently working as a substitute teacher in Syracuse, New York at a charter school called Syracuse Academy of Science, where I also coach the varsity soccer team. I got involved with a Connecticut writing project after my first year in college when Dr. Crandall invited me to work with children and share my story with them in hope of having them share their stories and using that as a motivation to further their education. Through that, I was able to work and help many kids, just inspire them to write their stories and tell their stories about the violence that they faced in their lives. And the project with Guns in the Hands of the Artists is very important because it allows children to share their stories about gun violence in the community. And as we can see today in the United States, gun violence is the number one cause of death and we are trying to do everything we can to share our stories in hope of helping people understand the trouble that guns bring to families.